What's up, brother?
How you doing, pal?
I'm good. For some reason, the whole day, all I've heard in my head is Eric Roberts about to do my podcast. Eric Roberts doing my podcast.
I love that.
Thank you. I used to sing in every guest, and then I stopped doing it for some reason, especially when we went to like the digital age during COVID. But I was like, you know what? I'm bringing that shit back, dude.
And
I'm bringing it back. Thank you. It's well, if it was funny when I used to do it in my apartment and you'd have like, you know, it would be like Wanda Sykes or Bill Burr, you're sitting next to a comedian, they would get it. And then we started branching into like actors and musicians. And I mean, you know this. You're one of the cool ones. Let's be honest here. But a lot of actors take themselves a little bit too seriously. So if I start singing Maureen Tieran's name, like, you know, like whatever, she's just like, oh, okay, this is. Are we going to talk about music, or are you just doing this for 35 minutes? Either way, dude, it's cool to sit down here with a rock star. And I mean this, Eric, like this is what's cool about doing this podcast and the way that we dig it with different musicians is that every musician there are certain artists that we've done on here where we're doing multiple records, and every single person that we've had on to talk about this, not only is it this one of the most important musicians of their life, especially talking about Bruce, but every person has either been like a cool comedian, a cool rock star, or now a cool actor. And there is something about this guy. But before, because I want to start. Oh, wait, where are you going? All right, hold up. You're back.
Something about this guy.
We disappeared for a moment. I was like, uh-oh, what's happened? Is he gone? I lost him on Cool Guy. No,
I lost you on something about this guy.
No, so what I'm saying, there's something about Bruce Springsteen that brings out some of the coolest people that I know. Now, it isn't, most people aren't laissez-faire with Bruce. Do you know what I mean? That you are either all in or you don't like him at all. 90% of the people love him. That's the thing, is that this is a obsession artist.
Well, the thing about Bruce is mind-blowing is his music is his music. You love his music. Okay. But then you go to one of his shows, and it's a whole other experience. You had the music, but you had this show that's this guy who's giving you a show like nobody else gives you. I mean, who's a headline name, you know, Bruce Springsteen. You know, it's the whole group. But like the first time I saw him, he slid on stage on his knees under the bass player, and the guy leaned down and kissed him. Mwah! And it was just like, what just happened? It was so cool.
What year was that?
I don't know, man.
Come on, you remember? I could tell you right now, and I should have put the fucking shirt on. I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my best and oldest friends, Greg Chait. Yes, I give full names here. He helps me out, helped me out with this podcast as well. His dad, obsessed with Bruce. So my first concerts, which I've talked about many times on this podcast, I was dragged to Wolf Trap in Northern Virginia to go see Peter, Paul, and Mary. And it didn't get good until I got into my teens and I could start bringing some grass and go smoke over in the bushes and then meet up with my parents. But my first actual, I would say, adult rock star type shit is Greg's father brought me and Greg to go see, it was the not Tunnel of Love, when he did the double records, Human Touch and Lucky Town. And we went to see him at the Capitol Center. And dude, I knew like 3 songs. You know what I mean? Only shit that Greg had listened to. I knew Born to Run, probably Born in the USA, maybe Hungry Heart, you know, some of the hits. Just like you said. And I was a rock and roll kid, man. Like I was into the Guns N' Roses. I was into Iron Maiden. I used to run home and sing in my mirror. Seeing something like Bruce is just phenomenal, especially at such a young age and somebody that wants to get into performing, because you're literally watching a man give everything for 3, sometimes 3.5 hours. And he's still doing it at fucking 70, whatever the fuck. I mean, he's amazing. Arguably top 5 live performances ever.
Shows. He always gave epic length shows.
But when did you first dig into him? Because, you know, I mean, what I love is that we're doing such an early record. this is, and I'm not going to get into my thoughts on it, but you grew up, if I'm not mistaken, Biloxi, Mississippi. Am I right? You're born there, and
No. I was only there for 3 days. My mom
okay.
was away from Atlanta to New Orleans, went in a labor. They brought it in Keith Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. So, no, I was raised in New Orleans my first years, and then Atlanta my next several years, and then London for education, and then in New York for my life.
Okay. So where were you in this journey? Well, by the way, here's what's funny. The next 2 cities I'm visiting, Friday, I'm going to New Orleans for a comedy festival. And then I'm going to London for a week so I can go see Radiohead 3 or 4 times. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm going to come back, have a day for Thanksgiving with my family, and then I'm going to go to Atlanta. So I know where to eat in Atlanta. So if you got any recs in New Orleans, I need them.
I don't. I don't anywhere.
It's been a while. It's all good. I was just trying to connect. So where were the formative years of you getting into Bruce, brother? Like, where did you dig in? Like, how old were you? Where were you? I'm assuming New York.
Actually, it was Sheila Jaffe who ran Cafe Central for many years, and then became a big time cast director with George Ann Walken, and got kind of famous. Anyway, she turned me on to Bruce, and I didn't know about Bruce till probably 1976, and was not a Bruce fan until probably 1978. And that was because of Sheila Jaffe. She got me my first tickets to a Bruce concert as a birthday present. She just gave it to me. Yeah, I want you to see this guy, like that kind of thing. And she told me he's a friend of mine. Blah blah blah.
Ooh.
And they were buddies. I've seen them have a conversation together. Bruce, like I told you, his music I always liked fine, but the concert is what made me a Bruce fan forever. It's just the way, and you can't really even describe them like, yeah, he does this, he does that. No, he just the presence and the strength and the impact that he can put behind those lyrics in concert, in person, is so much more dynamic than just the sound. I don't know how to describe it. You can describe it. You just got to see it. And
would you put Bruce in arguably, I mean, I don't know what your concert, my life is like, literally I do stand-up comedy. I go to concerts and I try to go on dates whenever I can. And on the days off, I hang out with my dog. I'm assuming you've probably been a guy that's worked in entertainment. You've had many opportunities to see many different bands. Would you put Bruce in the top 5, top 3, if not top 1 live performances you've ever seen in your life? And if so, who else did you fill that out with? I'm always curious to find the great
only concert. The only group as memorable as Bruce in concert are the Stones.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I just finally saw him, dude. I just finally saw him at MetLife in his 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what kind of peptides they got that guy on, but good God, if like they need to give that to everybody at the old Jewish folks home that my grandmother used to live at. I mean, they'd be like in their 80s.
Who's their new drummer?
Oh, I don't. I'd have to take a look, but I'll tell you this right now is it's one of those things where it's like, and this is what's cool about Bruce and about Mick, which Mick's a little bit older, obviously. Because there's no Bruce without Mick and without the Rolling Stones and all the Motown and all that other shit. But it's like you can see where Bruce got a lot of that stuff from. I mean, he gives you, just like Mick gives you, everything for the 2.5 hours. And it's just, I mean, it's one of those things that just blows your mind that you're like, good God, man, you're 82. And and I just saw Paul McCartney. Me and Burr went to see Paul McCartney at the Bowery Ballroom. And it was amazing. And he put on an incredible show. But I mean, he's not bopping around like fucking Mick. Like Mick is just, it's insane. I mean it. And I mean, I'm really happy that I got to see him. And I was like, maybe I waited too long, but I'm not, dude. He's still bringing it. And Bruce, same thing. I was watching these live performances of him, to get ready for this show and listening to some of these records. And, and you said you met him in what, 76?
I didn't meet him. No.
Oh, well, you were with the friend and she turned you on to him in 76. Right. That's what I meant. But you saw her talk to him
Exactly.
In 70s. You're in the room. Okay, you're in the room. You didn't meet him, but the coalescing of
the
vapors.
restaurant.
You probably smelled like patchouli. You got a whiff of them. You were like, that's. I mean, Johnny Depp walked by me once, and I smelled cigarettes and like real oody cologne. I go, oh, I didn't meet him, but I feel like I know him. So what I'm trying to say is, you met him in 76. So that's after, not met him. Sorry, we're in the room after Born to Run. So that is now he's the boss. He's made his groundbreaking record that blew everybody away.
Yeah.
You know, is it like, there's always that expression that somebody said that it was like there were three people that I've seen walk into a room and the energy changed. One was Bill Clinton, the other was Axl Rose, and I forget who the third one was, but it was some actor said that, and it was like, does he have that thing when you like he walks in the room, it's just everybody's drawn to him? I mean, obviously he was a huge star already at that point.
Bruce, I mean, I'm not alone in this, and this is not a personal observation. Bruce just has that aura of stardom.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that presence of, I am somebody, get out of the way or join me. He's that guy. And he's also got a very likable quality. So it's not overwhelmingly, bigger than life. It's just bigger than life. Oh my God, it's cool. And he is cool, man. He's a personification. Cool. Yeah,
he really is. Who is you? Because you met so many people, incredible people, and work with so many people in your life. Who's another person that's got that aura, like actor, musician that you've been in the same room with? You're like, I can't believe. I mean, it's just politician, whoever because you've met so many and worked with so many incredible people.
Well, I was neighbors with him for 30 years, and he's my oldest actor buddy, and that would be Chris Walken.
Oh, I mean, that's what a cool number to have on your phone, and just be like, Chris, what are you doing, buddy? Somebody told me a story that he was like doing. I mean, he's just the man. Somebody told me a story. He's just, I think it was Jay Moore or somebody was working with him on some project, and they went into his dressing room, and he just had a fish. A full fish on a plate. And they go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm about to have lunch. And he just not scaled, just a fish.
Yeah, that's
that's the.
Yeah, that's Walken. Yeah. Now, by the way, he is the best cook of anybody you ever met who's not a chef.
Really?
He is an incredible cook. The only thing about his cooking that might bother some people, I love it, I live on it, is he eats garlic in on everything.
Good for your heart.
Don't go to Chris's house. But
good for your heart.
But he's a great cook. He's a great neighbor. He's a great guy. He's a great actor, as we all know.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Makes me so happy. That really does. Because you always like, I've always idolized him as one of my favorite actors. So many great movies, and you're like, I bet he is a fun hang. And you're like, no, you find out from the inside scoop that he actually is. That's amazing. And I love garlic. So please invite me. I love garlic. Right? We went to the garlic festival once. It's good for the heart. So this record that we're talking about today, The Wild, The Innocent, and The E Street Shuffle, this is Bruce's second record. It's released, actually, the anniversary of when it came out was only a few days ago. It was November 5th, 1973, recorded in New York, coming in at only 46 minutes of fun. Produced by Mike Appel and Jim. I'm going to fuck that name up. Correct. I'm not even going to try it. Jim C. Let's call him that. Let me get my little scoodle up. So this record is a sprawling, this is the only way to put it, sprawling snapshot of youthful restlessness, boardwalk dreams, small town yearnings, urban sideways glances. And this is what I love about this album, Eric, is I am a Bruce fan, but I will say this, and I'm not going to lose people when I say this. I find some of his records have sometimes been, I need a couple listens. I mean, Born to Run, you put it on, you glide. Not every song I love. I'm not saying it's a bad record. It's not it's a no skip record. But you got to sit with it a little bit to really fully absorb. Some of the tracks come at you in a way that you get Thunder Road, you get Born to Run, you can name a few, you get, 10th Avenue Freeze Down, whatever. But there's some stuff you have to sit with. Something like Nebraska, I had to sit with, The River. I had to sit with this record. Oh, The Rising, I had to sit with. Even though I think The Rising might have been the greatest tribute to 9/11 first responders ever written, better than any movie. I will say this. This is the first record by Bruce Springsteen that I put on. And the second I put it on, I loved every morsel of this record because you can feel the energy. You can feel the excitement. You can feel that something big is about to happen with this guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He hasn't written Born to Run. It's in the chamber. It's in the mail. It's coming. UPS they're about to deliver it. This record is the personification of, in my opinion, of why I think this is like, how do I put it? Like, I'm trying to think of somebody that, fuck it. This is, you know what this is? This is like, oh God, I don't know. I don't have a comparison. Oh, this is 1999, getting ready to do Purple Rain. This is Prince. This is him like, hey man, this is this great record, but what I'm about to drop next, this is the thing that's setting it up. So thoughts on this? And I'm obviously, if you're getting into them around 76, this record's been out. Born to Run's been out. When did you first hear this record in particular? Give me some thoughts before we start going into songs. I got some fun questions to ask you that I think you're going to dig.
Well, everything that has to do with Bruce, I tied with Sheila Jaffe. It was all, I'd hang with Sheila, and she was always playing Bruce, and she always had Bruce on in Cafe Central, the big famous bar there, and she always had Bruce on the jukebox, and he was even there a few times. I never saw him there, but he was there, and so my only real association with Bruce is through Sheila Jaffe and through the love of probably my favorite album probably ever dropped is Nebraska. And that album changed my life personally, as albums can. And because, when an album, really affects you, or a songwriter really affects you, is when he's writing about you. And that's how that album felt for me. That album was fantastic for me.
What a great story behind it. And that there was something that I watched an interview with Tarantino talking about how he hates biopics. And he goes, I hate biopics because they try to do the whole life story. He goes, just tell me about a portion. Tell me about a little chunk. And Scott Cooper, I think, listen, whether it's killing it at the box office or not, he did something. And I think probably one of the most interesting periods of Bruce's career, which is right after Born to Run, Darkness on the Edge of Town. He makes this record in his like home, records it on this like 8-track, and then they can't redo it. It's just these personal songs about a story about a serial killer and this. And to do the movie about that in particular is exactly, it literally made me just clock back to that interview with Tarantino and be like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. You don't need to do the whole, well, Bruce is in Asbury Park and then he's a kid playing bars. It's like, fucking just give me a morsel and a good one.
Yeah.
So you say it's written about you. You said when you heard it, it was written about you. So that was the thing that drew you in to Bruce hearing Nebraska. All the other shit before, you just were like, oh, this is all good. But when you heard Nebraska, that changed everything.
I liked it, but it didn't own me until Nebraska. And then he owned me. He was writing about me. And so he owned me. And I also he changed his style for that album, his vocal style. He changed it for that album. And for all but one song. And I always loved him for that, because singers do not do that unless they are very brave and very talented at the same time. And so he was.
It's a phenomenon. I had a lot of people fighting over that one when we did it on the podcast. Really, that's what I'm saying. It's like everybody that's done Bruce is like you, Chris Titus, Jay Moore. Jay Moore came on. I think he cried 5 times talking about Tunnel of Love. My buddy James Mattern, who's a brilliant comedian, film critic. Greg Fitzsimmons. I'm missing people. Gosh darn it. Oh, Rob Lowe just did Darkness on the Edge of Town. There's always it's just, and the people, they love it. But I mean this, I'm not taking anything away from Nebraska. I loved that record, but it took a moment. You have to be in the mood to listen to that. This record, and like I said, I think it's because you're listening to a 24-year-old kid, a child, but has such an old soul, because he's got one foot in the past, but he's looking forward at the exact same time. He is playing all the music he grew up listening to. It's the soul, it's the Motown, it's the jazzy. I mean, it's so rewarding listening to this. It's capturing the innocence of living, in this, having these like amazing euphoric small town nights, which I had. I mean, though I grew up right outside of DC. It's talking about the like almost like the wild and the restless like city strain, and giving it these like band soundscapes that wasn't just the guitar and the harmonies, but there's organ and there's strings and there's sax and there's so much. And this is an album that I think, like, I listened to it once when I worked out and I was like, all right, I'm in. I listened to it again, and by that point I was like, this is my favorite Bruce Springsteen record he's ever put out. I don't give a fuck. All the other ones can have the hits. I'll take 4th of July, Asbury Park, Sandy. I'll take New York City Serenade. 100% I'll take Rosalita. I think that might be one of the most fun songs he's ever performed in his life. I saw my band do it in New Orleans at Nick, the drummer's wedding. Going to see him this weekend. And Nick, his new wife, and my buddy Joel, who I'm in a band with, they covered Rosalita, and I already knew the song, but it just, like, to see somebody else do it and just put the oomph into it.
Yeah, my incredible. Wife loves Rosalita. She loves Rosalita.
I mean, it's such an incredible song, an incredible album. And what I love, and I mentioned this earlier, and I want to flip this to you and ask this about your career, is we talk about the record before the thing blows up, because this is it. This is Bruce. He's not a big name yet. He's selling records, but he is not a big name. What was the project? What was the Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle before You're Born to Run? What was the project that you had right before it all changed?
Well, I was one of the guys that you can only define with the word lucky, and that I started out as introducing Eric Roberts, and it was a starring role in a major motion picture with 5 other stars who were known, and the unknown introducing Eric Roberts. So, and then I became an international movie star. So I was very lucky. I didn't have to work my way up. I got in and it blew up, and I wallowed in it for the past 45 years.
I don't even know how I got here. I'm just friends with Christopher Walken eating garlic steaks. But there had to have been something. I mean, you were saying, so what was that first project then? What was that first project that you said that you were with everybody? Was it?
It was King of the Gypsies, and it starred Susan Sarandon played my mother, Judd Hirsch played my father, Shelley Winters played my grandmother, Sterling Hayden played my grandfather, Brooke Shields played my baby sister. They were all very recognizable, famous people introducing Eric Roberts. Brooke Shields took care of me as an actor. She was very good to me. 20 years later, 30 years later, 35 years later, I played her husband in a movie. And so we're like really good friends. And but that movie, Susan Sarandon was very good to me. She took good care of me as an actor. And so did Shelley Winters. And they were just great to me. And Frank Pearson wrote and directed it. You know, he wrote Cat Ballou, Dog Daffin, and all kinds of great shit. And he also took care of me. He's the one who discovered me. And when he played my screen test for Dino De Laurentiis, he said, "Here's the kid I want." And Dino watched it and said, "I can see why. Hire the guy." And so that was my beginning. Very lucky. I was hungry for 2.5 years when I got to New York. I worked for Joe Papp down the Public Theater, making $160 a week, and was hungry all the time. And was the last stop on the subway, the D train at Flatbush, and it was hard, but it was romantically hard in that I knew it was gonna let me go, and it did.
Well, I mean, you're how old when you get out to New York? I mean, 78 when King of Gypsies came out.
I was 19 when I got to New York. I was 21 when King of the Gypsies came out.
So how did they find you then? How did that casting person, or was it the director that you mentioned that brought you to Dino De Laurentiis? I don't want to fuck this up, but I remember I heard you say that name. Was
Yeah,
was De Laurentiis the producer? I'm assuming, right?
right. He was the boss. It was open casting, and I had an audition. Then I got another audition. Then I got another call back, and then I got a screen test. And the morning of the screen test was January of 1978 at the Gulf and Western Building. And there was a huge snowstorm that morning, and all the traffic shut down. And so it was dead streets. It was very romantic. So I called my manager. I said, "Are they still going to have the screen test?" He said, "Yeah, get down there." So I was on 73rd Street in Central Park West, and I walked down to the Gulf and Western Building. Got there. I reported in, signed my name. They were behind, of course, because of the snow and the traffic and the people not showing up. And the building was predominantly empty. Anyway, I went to sleep, and I slept for a couple of hours. They woke me up, and they said, "It's time for your screen test, Eric." I said, "Thank you." I did my screen test and got lucky, got my first movie.
Slept. That's how comfortable you were, dude.
Well, I've been an actor all my life. It's the only thing besides my wife, who came much later. It's the only thing besides my wife and the gym that I've gotten out of exactly what I put into. And so I love this vocation like I love her.
I love that. That's such a cool story too, because you were destined to get it. The fact that you could sleep before an audition, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to doze off for a minute. I know this character. I've already been through 9 auditions. You know what I mean? Snowstorm. Who gives a shit? Everybody's going to be cranky. Coffee sucks. like I got to huff back upstairs. I got to huff back uptown closer to the Dakota. Come on, dude. I love that. I love that story. And then immediately to go from that, I mean, because I guess your next, the big breakout role, which, is Star 80, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that in a sense, doing that first project, did you know? So I guess to take it back to that before we move on to just a couple other songs, did you know that when you were doing that project with Susan Sarandon, I mean, goddamn, what an incredible first project of, I mean, Susan Sarandon, Brooke, that was Shelley Winters. Good God. Did you have that feeling then? I know you said you get what you put into it, and I love that. But did you have a feeling you're like, all right, we're off to the races? I feel like the next thing is really, because how big did that project break you? Did you need Star 80 to really make it the thing, or was it already? Was that first project we were just talking about? Was that the Wild, the Innocent, the E Street Shuffle, whereas Star 80 would be your Born to Run?
They King of the Gypsies made me a movie star.
Oh,
and
wow.
They said he can play. Let's let him play. But Star 80 made me a respected actor, a respected artist, and that the actors in my world said, "You're one of the best, dude. Join us." And so I felt I was embraced after Star 80 by all the really great actors. In fact, one of the best comments I ever got was from Chris Walken. We're at his house and we're playing pool. Star 80 had just come out. We're playing pool, and he cracks a ball. Bam! He goes, "Hey, by the way, I saw Star 80. Wow." Bam. That's all he said.
It was so good. Dude, you hung out with him. You know it. You got, dude.
Just the fact that he would extend himself in that calm, casual, but complete way. I saw Star 80, and wow. I mean, it's just, and that's all he had to say, and that's all he did say.
And that's all you needed. Because he's by that point, fucking by 83, I mean, he's one of the most respected actors in the game. And to get it, and not only be friends with them, but I know what that's like. It's like being accepted by your peers. It's like you can be a working actor, you can be a working comic, you can be a working musician. But when you have people that you respect, that you've looked up to, go, "Hey man, come hang out with us, sit at our table." Like that's gotta be an incredible feeling, and well-deserved too, man. Because just the run that you went on after that, I mean, it's just incredible.
Well,
and
this night also bonded overacting, and that we're both nominated for Golden Globes in 1978. He for Deer Hunter, me for Best Newcomer for King and the Gypsies, and we both lost. So we both kind of bonded over, hey, we're the losers. Hey, good for us.
Yeah, dude. Do you know who won? Do you know who won? Do you remember?
No. Why would I?
Because he won the Oscar. Because then Walken goes on to win the Oscar, right? So he loses the Golden Globe, but he wins the Oscar.
That's right.
The Golden Globe's the one you won. That's the one everybody's drinking. We're having a good time. You're talking.
You won them both, dude. You won them both.
Yeah, dude, I won a Critics' Choice Award more than anything. That's all I want. All right, dude, I love this. All right, let's get back to this record. So where were we? Let's let's go through some tracks on this. We got some time to do that. I would say this album, though, what I love about it a lot is it's not built for singles, except for Rosalita. This is which I read has gone on to become one of his big live show staples. But this is for almost the immersion. I really feel like you wander through 4th of July, Asbury Park. You linger through New York City Serenade, and you feel the tension of like Wild Bill's circus story. And I think from that you get what feels less like a collection of tracks, but more like one long. How did I write? Let me see. It's like one long New Jersey, New York City night walk of possibility and maybe longing. It's just I think this is
I love that explanation. That was a great explanation.
Thank you very much. I worked hard with my buddy on this because we did. The second I heard this album, I was like, fuck, man, this is one of my favorite Bruce records. And then you just, because when you listen to some of the other stuff, you feel like I don't want to say you're force fed anything by Bruce, but you're getting a lot of like, and the coal miner's down there, but his car won't start. And it's all very storyteller. Like this just felt very like young and fun. And it took me back to a place, where I know these characters, even though I grew up in Baltimore and DC. I know these people. I know these girls. I know that feeling of being young. I'll be 46 in 2 days, and I'm not. I don't feel old at all. But you start fucking looking back, and you're like, oh man, remember before I needed Viagra? God, remember when?
I gotta tell you, you're gonna turn 50, and you're gonna wake up that morning, and you're gonna be in touch with your mortality like you've never been before.
I'm already there, dude. I'm already there. Trust me. That's the thing that keeps me going. That's the thing that keeps me enjoying life, knowing that this journey isn't that much longer. And it moves and it moves and it moves. And then you listen to something like this. And then also, this is what's great about Bruce. And I think it's, we've been doing him like we've been doing Bob Dylan. So we're doing it almost backwards. We're listening to his later records first on the podcast. And then we're going back to all the early stuff, which is easier for Bruce than it is for Bob Dylan, because Bruce has always been a consistent style. And maybe the songs get a little longer, like in The River, you're dealing with 6-7 minute songs. And as you get into his later records, I think the latest one we did was The Rising, which might have been one of his last really, really great albums. And not putting down like Ghosts of Tom Joad or some of the other shit, that's before or a little bit after. Wrecking Ball, I think that was one. But there is a thing with Dylan that you gotta listen to the old shit before you can listen to the new shit. I think Bruce, you know what I mean? Like you gotta listen to Highway 61 Revisited before you can listen to fucking A Time Out of Mind, because you can't appreciate Time Out of Mind.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and that's why I really dig. I think. Because Bruce is Bob Dylan for so many people, for the working man, New Jersey. Like he's the way that Billy Joel speaks of Long Island and New York City is like Bruce is Jersey. He's the boardwalk. He's that, he is just the personification of this area of a time.
Let's start taking apart these songs. Let's play them.
Yeah, let's dig some of them. Brian, get the songs ready just in case, because we might jump into some of them. All right, the album opens up with the E Street Shuffle. I gotta say this is probably my least favorite song on the entire record. It has nothing to do with the beginning, because I love that there's this like funky groove. He's got the clavinet part. There's a by the keyboardist David Sanchez. This is a unique one in, I think, the Springsteen catalog. I just don't like the doing the E Street Shuffle. It's very porno music-y to a certain point. You know, it's like my dad's old porno collection that I used to sneak down and watch. But there is this like obvious influence of like Superstition by Stevie Wonder in there. And this actually did, this Superstition, you could see why he would use this, because this was like, you know, Superstition was so popular in early 73. I do think
new.
Yeah, it really is. And I think
new.
I think this opener kind of sets the mood. It's just basically it's players just staring down the asphalt and a sax just punctuating the dusk. It's just, there's something about it. Now I want to ask you this, because your career has spanned bursts of momentum and reinvention all throughout. When you watch or listen to something like this track, this opening track, how do you think about the shuffle of a career? Like the rhythm of rolls, the side steps, the tempo changes, like how do you manage all of that as an actor, as an artist? Like when you hear a song like this?
That's a very romantic, poetic way to look at it. I am neither. So but I don't feel my experience until it's all over. And then I look back on it and it's like dominoes. I feel it all. And that's kind of because my life and my work is such instant coffee of life. And it has to be quick, and it has to be good, and it has to be here we go. And then it's done. And so it's the instant coffee of life, my job. And you can't romanticize it too much. And we want to as people, because it's so poetic what we do, but we got to get it done.
You know, what's the most lost you've ever gotten in your work though? Is there a role that you just were like, holy shit, as soon as it was done, you were like, man, I'm so glad this is over, because I didn't want to be that character anymore? Or you were like, God, I loved being that character so much. Like, why can't I be that character again? Like,
I've had them both. And the hardest one, I was very well taken care of by a great director, Bob Fosse. And it was Star 80 when I played Paul Snyder, who killed Dorothy Stratton. That was the hard one, because if you played a bad guy, it was going to be cliche and it was going to be television. You had to play a guy who made a mistake. And so it was hard. And you can't dislike the people you're playing, or you don't play them properly. So it was hard for me because he wasn't likable.
I love that you said that. I just watched this interview with Christoph Waltz about playing one of the Nazi and Glorious Bastards. And they said, what's it like playing a bad guy? And he goes, he doesn't think he's a bad guy.
No, he
thinks he's doing the right thing. He's doing his thing for his country. So he's a good guy to himself. And someone, like in Star 80, I mean, Paul is like, he's just a husband that's like, he thinks he's doing what's right, but the wiring's all wrong. You know what I mean?
What's mind-blowing is if he hadn't killed her, he invented Chippendales. He would be a multimillionaire. He would be sitting pretty. He'd be fine.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, fucked up, Paul.
There you go.
Fucked up. You fucked up. What was the role that you just loved so much that you were like, I mean, this is like, holy shit, this is fun. Is it playing dark is always got to be definitely hard on the emotions, but
one of the saddest movies to walk away from was because I was playing a really nice person who was off to war in a very positive way after falling in love with a woman and her two little boys, and it was called Raggedy Man. And I played a sailor. I played a gunner's mate in World War II, and that was probably the most precious role I've ever played, in that he was sweet, good guy, and the saddest to walk away from, because I was going right into Star 80. So
Yeah, you're getting some heavy shit, dude. I mean,
yeah.
you go from that to the Pope to like, I mean, just looking at some of the heavy rolls, like Runaway Train. I mean, it just gets thick, dude.
Yeah,
It gets
but
heavy.
then we got a break after that in that order. That's they were shot in that order. Star 80, Pope, Runaway. No, Star 80, Pope. And then I got a break with the Coca-Cola Kid.
Coca-Cola
The
Kid. Yeah,
Coca-Cola
yeah,
Kid, and it's light, it's likable, it's good. Greta Sachi is maybe the most gorgeous woman on the planet in that movie, and it's a really cute little movie. But then I go into Pope, and I changed my body, I permed my hair, and had the time of my life. Met
That
a
must have been
remarkable
great.
actor I've always been friends with ever since, Mickey Rourke, and just that was an experience that kind of changed my life as an actor because I realized uh, that I was as capable as I thought I was.
I mean, you're in like Pope Greenwich Village is one of the it's in my top 50 movies of all time. It's like
Oh, thank you.
you work with Mickey, like I mean, that's like just the two of you together, both dealing with what you guys are dealing with in that movie, and you're doing it here in the greatest city in the world. Were you already out in New York at that point, or were you living in LA, or were you still
Oh no,
here
I
in the
was in
thick
New
of
York.
it?
I didn't live in LA up until I got married many years later.
Really? So where
Yeah.
were you living when you were shooting the Pope of Greenwich Village? Were you still
On
uptown?
I was on 73rd Street in between Central Park West and Columbus, but I also had a home up by Walken in Connecticut.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you had the apartment in New York. So when you were doing the movie, of course, you're probably just staying in Manhattan.
Yeah. See, Walken was on 79th, I was on 73rd. Then upstate, he was about a mile away in in Westport, and I was no, he was in Wilton, I was in Weston. So we were
Okay.
like, so we're always neighbors.
I love that, man. Dude, that rules. That rules. What a great neighbor to have.
What
I
a great
wish.
neighbor at dinner time. What a great neighbor.
Oh, garlic. Yeah, but you're leaving out. You gotta eat, and then he gives you mints on the way out. Like take a mint, your breath's gonna be pretty bad. Okay, I got you. All right.
No,
4th of July, Asbury Park, Sandy. The lyric mentions Madame Marie for telling fortunes better than the cops. That figure was a real life fortune teller on the Asbury Park boardwalk named Marie Costello, who Springsteen later publicly memorialized on his site after her death in 2008. It really, this song, I mean, you grew up, you sound like your formative years where you went from Atlanta to New York City, right?
yeah.
If I was right. I don't know. Are there boardwalks in Atlanta? Because Atlanta's like, it's a little more landlocked, right? It's not like, I mean, Georgia's got the beach, but like,
Atlanta
did you?
had those kind of walks on a place called Lake Lanier,
Okay.
and yeah, we have a bunch of lakes around Atlanta. So yeah, we do have boardwalks like that, but they aren't on the ocean because we don't have an ocean there to speak of. And Savannah has the ocean, but uh, it's not the same.
This song really reminds me of, and it's funny that the guy Greg, my buddy who I mentioned, who helped me work on this episode, we used to we grew up in the DC area, and we would go to Ocean City, Maryland, and it was like a 3-hour drive east, just going in the middle of fucking nowhere. My mom lives there now with my sister, and I hate it. But when I was a kid, it was everything. Going to the boardwalk, beach week, whether we were in 11th grade or senior year, it was the adventure of our lives every summer. We'd get an older guy to buy us booze. We'd get an ounce of shitty weed. We'd get whatever the shitty alcohol is, Aftershock or Glockenspiel or whatever the fuck people drink to do shots, Goldschlager. And we would just have this incredible time. And I would just get high and try to meet girls and eat Choco tacos and just maybe get laid, maybe not, like maybe hook up with a girl. But there was some adventure and this magical feeling that that comes with, and I know you know it too, even though like you were already working at like 19 and you were living your dream, but it's like you've had those moments where you're like, it just feels like you were saying about turning 50 and realizing that, man, it's like almost over. I better start enjoying this. It's like we always hold on to the negative shit, but when we can look back and think about the magical moments that we've had, and they don't have to be the wins of us booking a role, they can just be hanging out with your friends on the boardwalk, talking to girls, and just being like, this is it. And that's what I got from this song. And that's why I think I love this record. I feel like it really does finally put Bruce at a level that I'm like, oh no, I really understand where he's at. I think that, he's so close to that age when he makes this. And it really just is such a beautiful song. I mean,
and also Bruce's voice is so nostalgic,
yeah.
especially when he backs off the hard rock. It is so embracing and nostalgic, and he knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Does when you hear a song like this about the summer nights and like kind of like that fading innocence, and does a song like this help you reflect on your moments of nostalgia? Like does it take you back? Because it took me back, and I mean, when I sit there and mention that boardwalk, me going to senior week, what is your senior week? What is Eric Roberts as a kid? It's got to be in Atlanta somewhere. Going to Mary Mac's tea room with your homies, like fucking Silver Skillet, Magic City. I don't know. Was that strip club open back then?
There were two bars. There was one called the Driftwood and one called Moe's and Joe's. And those two places were not bars to us. They were our homes away from home. And we would eat, play cards, play checkers, play chess, drink illegally, smoke, pot in the back,
of course,
all the time there. And that was our home away from home, where we could act like we were, as opposed to act like we were supposed to act. And so when you hear those kind of songs, they remind you nostalgically of that feeling of when you before you were a man, before you were on your own, when you're making that transition. That's what they remind you of. Those places in your life that once they're over, they never come back.
They never come back.
But they happen to all of us. They happen to every one of us.
I think, when people talk about what heaven is, and I feel like that heaven is whatever moment you get stuck in when you pass, like whatever you're thinking about. So if you're like getting that peaceful thing, and then suddenly you start thinking about, oh my God, the summer nights and meeting that girl and this and that. And then if you can concentrate on that as you pass, that's the last moment that you have. And in a sense, that's heaven,
I'll go with that. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just because there's no explanation for anything that happens. So I have no idea if what I'm saying is right or wrong. I'm hoping we be reincarnated. And if we do, I really want to come back as a overweight black female comedian, because I would love to be sassy. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. There still is time. I mean,
so you have to die soon.
That's true. All right, let's talk a few more of these songs. Kitty's Back. Although not released as a single and a deeper cut in the overall Springsteen catalog, the song has been performed live over 250 times. This track propels the urgency, the movement, the insistence that things have got to change.
Why wasn't it released as a single?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find some more skadoodle on it. I don't. Well, first of all, this is the only two songs that are released as singles are 4th of July and Rosalita. And I see why both of those are. Obviously, Rosalita. I mean, but Rosalita, don't forget, that's a fucking, that's a 7-minute song.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did my dude put a little thing about it? Where are we looking at? Kitty's Back. Excuse me. The song, he just started playing it again in 2023. It's sticking around, it looks like, on his set list. It doesn't say why. Interesting.
How many albums has he put out?
Oh my Lord. Let me do a little.
You don't know?
Come on, dude. You know how many albums I got to do, Eric? I got to deal with. Last night I had to do Biggie Smalls Ready to Die at like 9 p.m. Then I got to flip the script and do Bruce Springsteen. And then 2 days later, I got to do fucking Marquee Moon Television. Then I'm going to England because I just got to get out of this funky ass country. Then I'm coming back.
How many albums has he done?
I'm doing it. Give me a second, brother. I got you. Hold up. Discography. Let me find this thing. He's got a long one. Dude, his Wikipedia page is as long as your IMDb page. Dude, your IMDb, that takes a long motherfucking time to scroll down. Here we go. All right.
A lot of fun, man.
All right, let me count it up. One, so you got Greetings, The Wild. I'm going to try to say just the title. Born to Run, Darkness, The River, Nebraska, Born in the USA, Tunnel of Love, Human Touch, Lucky Town, Ghost of Tom, The Rising, Devil and Dust, We Shall Overcome, The Secret Sessions, Magic, Working on a Dream, Wrecking Ball, High Hopes, Western Stars, Letter to You, and then the last one to come out was Only the Strong Survive. So counting that up, that is 1, 2,
22
3,
or
4,
23.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Whoa, dude. You got a good, like, you got that like Stephen Hawking brain. No wonder you're a good actor. No wonder you could sleep before the audition. You fucking read it once and knew it. You were there. You got that kind of brain, bro.
Oh man. I used to, it's true. But you know what? In my youth, I smoked a lot of marijuana. And in my old age, it haunts me a little bit.
That's what you're supposed to do, though. That's your youth, man. You're supposed to do that. And then what, dude? You've had such a great life. Chill out. Act every once in a while. You got a great wife. You're killing it. You know, come on the podcast all the time. I would love to have you back. Seriously.
I'd love to come on this podcast all the time. You know, I will act as long as I'll be married forever because I love it like I love her all day, every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a role? Because I want to for Kitty's back. Is there a role that you're still like searching for? Is there something that like because you've done so much?
There is a role I would like to play, and it's Nureyev after he stopped dancing, because that life is remarkable. And he was at a time when you're not accepted being gay in Russia at all. They would kill you.
Oh yeah.
And he was gay, and he was Russian, and I want to play him after he stopped dancing because I can't dance. But he had an incredible life that was not positive, but was incredible, and it was also tragic. But he was a gifted, incredible artist, and I'd like to play him.
I love that. Well, guess what? The fact that you even said he stopped dancing. You don't gotta worry about shit. You could just worry about the acting. Maybe you got to do a little shuffle every once in a while, but you know, you can do that. I think you can handle that. I'll get you some glucosamine. Come on, dude. I love that. And I mean, dude, it really is incredible, Eric, when you look at the roles that you've had. And I mean, some people get maybe one or two. I mean, and they work for 5 to 10 years. Some people have, in careers 30, 40. Dude, you have been working consistently. I mean, since the early 70s. I mean, that's amazing, man.
Well, since the late 70s, but yeah,
late 70s. I'm sorry, yeah, but you were still acting then.
But yeah, I've been lucky because so many good actors don't have the good fortune I do. And I have to remember that. It's not because of me. It's because of my circumstances. So I'm not humble. I am my biggest fan, but I do believe I'm extraordinarily lucky. And I'm so happy to be alive.
Well, I want to ask you this because I'm going to go off the next song. And this wasn't the question I had planned, but I love that you're saying that. And we're talking about Wild Billy's Circus Story, which is, it's got tuba, it's got accordion, it's a metaphor for life, living on the edge of performance and spectacle, the danger and everything. You come, and now I'm going to flip this to the question to get to it, is that you have an incredible daughter who is a working actress. You have a sister who is a working actress. And obviously you were the first one. Did you get, but it sounds like to me, Eric, when I try to say, like, what's the thing and the thing? And you're like, I don't fucking know, dude. I showed up. I knew the lines. They gave me the role. Who had any idea? Lucky me. you obviously have something, and you probably have had to give advice to these people. What was the advice you gave to your sister, and what was the advice you've given to your daughter? I mean,
The only
besides,
advice I ever gave my sister that she took was this. I said, "You need a Screen Actors Guild card." And she said, "So get me one." I said, "Okay." So I put her in her first movie to get her Screen Actors Guild card. She got it, then moved to Hollywood and did all the rest herself. My daughter is named Roberts, and because of Julia Roberts and her father, Eric Roberts, it was kind of easy for her.
Of course.
And the doors opened. "Oh, your name is Robert? Step right this way." So for her, it was not a struggle. For Julie did all of it on her own. All I got her was a Screen Actors Guild card, and then she did it herself. And that performance in Pretty Woman is epic, charmingly, lovably perfect. And that's what made her a movie star.
That's so cool, man. I mean, and I don't know if you're I mean, I don't know when your parents passed away, but I mean, were they able to see the two of you both like really succeeding, doing what you love? I mean, because that must have been magical. Like my dad passed away right before my career started taking off, but luckily my mom's been there, been able to see everything and how happy she is. Were you guys lucky enough, and your parents lucky enough to see their two kids just?
Well, my dad died. My dad died in December of '77, and I got my first, movie in April of '78. So he never saw any of it, but my mom saw all of it. She died 6 years ago at 80, and yeah.
Does she ever say, "Let me tell you something, Pretty Woman was good, but dude, Pope of Greenwich Village, you killed it"? Like, dude, that was my favorite.
She never said those words, but she did tell me that I love that Law and Order. That Law and Order is so good. She loved Law and Order.
Who doesn't? I mean, there's a reason it's been on the air for goddamn 50 years. All right, two more songs. Let's talk about. All right, let's talk about Incident on 57th Street. One of the most famous and popular Bruce bootlegs is named The Saint, the Incident, and the Main Point Shuffle. This was from a benefit appearance at the Main Point, a small coffee shop in Pennsylvania, 5 months before the release of Born to Run. All songs from The Wild Innocent were part of the 18-song set and opens with Incident on 57th Street. This is a long narrative track, relationship tension, city backdrop, fate. This might be. Listen. I mean, I'm going to sit here. I know Rosalita is my favorite.
This mix is
killer. This is one of those tracks that, I mean, this is why by this point, listening to the record, Eric, and this is before Rosalita. When Innocent came on, or Incident came on, I keep calling it Innocent. When Incident came on, it was by that point, I was like, oh yeah, you got me, dude. This is basically, from what people say, this is the turning point. This is the song where he goes from he's now making these fully formed cinematic, because he's telling you the story. And you know what I mean? This is the bridge in between the first record, Greetings, the first few songs, and then this is what takes you to the record that you love, Nebraska. This is a song like this is that bridge. And it also helps. He's like, it's almost sung in like sweet style.
Why are we playing? Why are we playing?
Hey, Brian, play a little bit of Incident on 57th Street, if you don't mind. I don't even know he's still here. Oh, he's here.
Listen.
Skip ahead a little bit. Get to the thick of it. Get to the thick, Bri.
Get to the meat.
Yeah, get to the meat and potatoes, dude. I don't think he knows how to do that.
I don't know how to do that.
You can't just jump ahead?
No.
Let me see if I can find the part.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah. So here, pause it. So, Brian, pause it. So I think where I love this song, where the story really hits, because he starts talking about Spanish Johnny. It's later in the song, which I don't know if you can pull it up, Brian. I would say it's around like minute 5:30 when he says, good night, it's all right. Like it's just he does that like build, and it's just so beautiful, and it really is. This is. I can't tell you how much I just love this record. I know I keep saying it over and over, and I wish I had deeper thoughts about it, but it's like, man, you get. I get it now. I get it. To Maureen Taryn, the head of True TV, I get it. To Jay Moore, I get it. To Rick Bronson, the owner of the comedy clubs in Vancouver that I performed, who yelled at me for 25 minutes that I was putting you on this podcast and not him, I get it. I understand, Bruce.
Why couldn't we be on at the same time? So he didn't.
Hey, he's a dude. Listen, I love Rick. He's a lot. You wouldn't have said one thing. You wouldn't have said one thing, Eric. I'd be like, let me ask you about it. And he'd be like, let me tell you something, Josh. All right, now this is why this album's good. Rosalita is great. All right, let's talk about Rosalita and let's wrap this shit up. I mean, Rosalita, hands down, is the quintessential concert closer for Bruce Springsteen. If he doesn't play this every fucking show, I don't know what the hell's he doing with his goddamn.
Well, you told me that it's on his set list.
So let me look here. I love I don't know if you've ever done this. There is a website that I love more than anything. It's called setlist.com, and it can tell you every set list for any show that's ever happened in the history of mankind up to a point. If there's a person there that watched the show, dude, it's crazy. So it's like, if I'm going to go see a concert and it's an artist I'm not that big of a fan of, or maybe I'm a fan of, but I'm like, let me just go see if what they're playing. You could take a look at the set list, and some people change their set list every night. Some don't. Bruce, for the last few years, really hasn't been changing it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're looking at August 21st, 2024. Opens with one of your songs, Atlantic City, and then track. Yeah, dude, this is a set list. You got he does the encore. So he ends the first half with goes The Rising, Badlands, Thunder Road. Then he opens the encore. Go fuck yourself. Born to Run, into Rosalita, into Dancing in the Dark, into 10th Avenue Freeze Down. Yeah. I mean, that's an encore, dude. You got to do Rosalita.
You asked about my kids. There's one kid we didn't talk about, and he's a musician. And so I want to tell you about him. Keaton.
Please.
Keaton, as in Buster Keaton. Keaton Simmons. Have you heard of him?
Keaton, what's his last name? Keaton
Simmons, Simons.
No, and dude, if he's got music, we'll play it at the end of this episode. I'd love to play his music and promote it on the show.
Cool. I want you to. I want you to play a song called The Medicine.
The Medicine? Brian, will you make it?
When I go.
So
play a song. No, When I Go what?
I think they have When I Go.
Oh, you have When I Go. Cool. Play When I Go.
Perfect. So what we'll do is when this is over, I'll have Emily reach out to whoever. She'll get the track and we'll make sure we play it at the end of the episode, because we always play new music at the end.
Thank you.
Dude, it's my pleasure. You came on, you're our guest. We're always looking to help launch, young artists. And it's also, I bet you he's somehow, some way you don't get him without this, with Bruce. So it's all bajumbo. So tell me more. Like, what were you saying? Like, you brought him up and when about Rosalita, is it his set list or what is it?
Bruce had a big influence on him, and he's a Bruce fan. And I started thinking about him when I was thinking about the music he and I used to listen to. We listened to a lot of Bruce together, and he's just a good ass musician. He's one of the best guitar players out there, and or so says Eric Clapton. And he's just a cool cat. And Keaton Simmons, listen to his music, you'll like it. Also, have you been watching Gemstones? Did you see that show?
Righteous Gemstones? Yeah, I'm friends with a few of the people on there. So I'm at the age, Eric, where if I put television on, I fall asleep. So it might take a few hours, a few days for me to get through an episode. But I want
you to do me a favor.
What do you need?
I want you to go to season 3, season 2, and find Eric Roberts.
Oh wait, I think I remember. Wait, of course I remember when. Yeah, I mean,
Did
I
you
watched
see
it
Suits with me on it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Cool, dude. Come on, bro. Like, dude, I was gonna ask you this because I was like, you realize you were in one of the in arguably my generation's Don't Stop Believing. When you did the Killers, Mr. Brightside, did you have any fucking idea that was about to be one of the biggest bands? And also, it's great that we're talking about Bruce because the Killers are so influenced by Bruce. Their second record, Sam's Town, has so much Bruce like vibe to it. But when you did that music video, were you just like, this band's pretty cool? Yeah, I'll do it. You know, it'll be fun. Did they ask you? How did that happen? Go ahead.
I have a story for you. They offered it to me because they like me as an actor. We want you in our video. Great. I turned them down. I don't make music videos. I'm an actor. Sorry. Yeah. My kids all call me. They say, what are you talking about? We heard Mom say you turned down the Killers. I said, yeah. What? So? Why? No. They all had fits. You have to call them back. You have to beg to be back in their video. And I did. And they did. And that's how that came about. And then as I'm making the video, I say to Sophie Mueller, our fantastic director, I say, Sophie, what am I playing? And she insinuated I was playing a pimp. So now you can watch the video with that point of view.
No, I thought you were a cool guy while people are dancing and the band's playing. I didn't realize you were hucking pussy. Come on, dude. Damn, you're killing it, dude.
So hard.
I'm sorry.
That's so hard.
I'm sorry. I'm a comedian at heart. We'll edit that part out. Bleep it, Brian. Note it. Bleep it. You were a respectable pimp. You cared about your girls.
I care about my girls. Yes, of course.
I love it. No, I mean this, man. That's another thing to bring it back full circle. Is there? So I living here, and I know you know it from living in New York City. There is no better town for live music. I mean that. I lived in LA 14 years. I saw a million shows. DC, where I grew up, Washington DC, we had the 930 Club. We had some great venues, but there is nothing like New York City. And I am blessed that I kind of walk in both worlds between comedy and music. And I know so many musicians and I know so many comedians. And I always just go to shows all the time. And I had seen the Killers a couple times. I went once in LA with Jim Jeffries and a few other friends, and we got to meet the band. And then I saw them when I was doing a festival in Toronto, and I had to rest my voice after my show. And so I went to see them perform, and I just kind of like didn't sing and just like enjoyed it. And there's so much music I love by them. But then I went to see them at the Bowery Ballroom. They were getting ready to play a festival out here. And I mean this, man. It's like, you know, you were talking that moment of like you see a band, you see somebody, and it's like, God, it's just like you just have this transcendent, magical experience where you and the music are just so sunk up. And it could be listening to it on a record or being there in the room, which is one of my favorite things, is to be watching live music. It's the same shit my dad used to say about going to the movies. He goes, you can watch a movie at home, but there's something about going to a room with 100 strangers and feeling that the lights go down and just feeling that energy. And watching the Killers, who were a band that I liked. I didn't love them. I liked them. Seeing them at the Bowery Ballroom, it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life. And I mean this, he is such a performer. He's taken so much from Bruce by giving you everything. And I mean that. Yeah. Bruce gives you everything. Eddie Vedder gives you everything. Otis Redding gave you everything. These Mick Jagger, they give you everything. And the lead singer of the Killers, Brendan, yeah, just such an incredible show. And it's like for you, which I love, is because you've had this amazing career. Even you do one music video, and it's dude, you realize that is like one of the biggest songs of like Gen X, Gens. That's like their Don't Stop Believing, Mr. Brightside. When we play that at the goddamn Comedy Jam, my show that I do that was on Comedy Central, I'm doing it this weekend in New Orleans where all comics do stand up and then they sing. If anybody does Mr. Brightside, I mean, it's like, it starts a goddamn riot. It is just such an incredible. It's Rosalita. It's Rosalita, but it's because if you play Rosalita at a Bruce concert or at someone, you know, that those Bruce fans, like, they get it, and you can't not sing it, you can't not enjoy it. Yeah, man. I mean, just the exuberance, the characters, you feel everything he's saying. Springsteen described this song as his musical autobiography, you know, which I think is beautiful because it really is. Yeah, dude. I mean,
autobiography. Speaking of autobiography,
go ahead.
Speaking of autobiography, tell all your listeners to buy my book, Runaway Train.
Oh, dude, we'll promote the shit out of it. Don't even trip. Tell me about it. No, tell me about it, please, dude.
The audio book is better because I don't know if you should maybe air all this information, but I'm gonna give it to you, and you decide what you ought to edit in and out.
You tell us what you want.
I write the book. I send it to the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
They publish it. They send it back. It's got a bunch of stuff that's not correct. Just stuff like my mother's dad played semi-pro ball. It says my father played semi-pro ball. Okay, not a big deal, but I'm going to change it. And it was mistakes like that. So I fixed all the mistakes. It was about 30 of them. I sent them back to the publisher. They fixed nothing. They published the book with all the inaccuracies. So I did the audio. So I fixed all the mistakes. So it's much more honest. And I added some stuff that's maybe a little blue.
Oh, I love that.
So you'll like it.
Eric, I'm 100% going to dig into that. We'll promote it. Whatever you can do.
Thank you.
Whatever we can do to help you, man. I mean this. You know what's great? I know we got to wrap this up. And it's like, I love doing this podcast. And I get nervous sometimes because I'm like, oh man, I love this guy. Or it's like, I don't know if he going to be cool. And the second you popped on, man, you've just been great energy. You've been so open and honest and fun that I can't thank you enough, buddy. This has been. You got to give
yourself some credit. You're very likable.
I'm in a good mood today. Thank you, buddy. I mean, thank you.
Those are the two reasons that I married my wife. Not that I'm attracted to you, but I married my wife because she's likable and she's funny.
Dude, if you find that in a girl or in a mate, you're killing it at life, dude. And it really, Eric, it's just you really, and I mean this, had such an incredible career, and you really, I mean, it seems like you have no ego and you're just enjoying the fucking journey. And I'm so happy that out of all the Bruce records this is the one that you came on to do, because it's not heavy. It's fun. It's light. Cause if we would have been doing Darkness on the Edge. Yeah, dude, if we would have been doing Darkness on the Edge of Town, I mean, we would have gotten into some shit, dude. And like, this is why, and I mean it. It's just everything about this record is something that I just was completely blown away by. And I mean, to end the record with New York Serenade, which is such an incredible song. 7 songs, quick, easy, perfect. Please come back. We'll do the final questions and we'll get you out of here now. What's your favorite song on this record, Eric?
What?
You have to see the list, right?
Yeah, I have to see a list.
Here, put them. Can you? Let me see. We got. Brian, can you put it up? Because if not, I can read it to you. We've got. I'll just read them. We got the E Street Shuffle, 4th of July, Asbury Park, Sandy, Kitty's Back, Wild Billy's Circus Story, Incident on 57th, Rosalita, and then ending it with New York Serenade.
Well, it's not fair, but Rosalita, but it's not fair because Rosalita jumps out.
Yeah, and, it does.
You know, but Rosalita.
Listen, no, Eric, this is that thing where it's like, man, it's such a good song. And if you asked me 9 times out of 10, I would always say Rosalita because I love a rock song. I love something catchy. I love the idea of Sandy and Rosalita. I'm trying to always think of who these chicks would be in my life, but I really loved Incident on 57th. I thought that, I love when it's like I said, it's that bridge, man. It's really just, it gives you, he's got the foot in the past. He's looking forward. At the same time, he's singing using all the stuff that he grew up listening to, the doo-wop groups and the old 50s rock. And it's like, but it's still, it feels like Bruce is like, well, Rosalita is just this fun party thing. And you can imagine him doing it at a bar, like Incident at 57th. I would love to hear him do that now. And I doubt he plays it anytime soon. But yeah, dude, what a great song.
Is my wife's favorite. That's my wife's favorite.
I mean, how can you not? How can you not? Everything on this. And I asked this question. I don't know. It's only 7 songs. Is there a skip song on here, or is this a no skip record?
It's a no skip record. Yeah, it's a no skip. I think we'll agree on that.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that there was any a moment that I got bored. And I think that's mostly just because, like I said, dude, this comes in, this is 46 minutes, 7 songs, nothing's too long. Whereas like you listen to The River. I mean, yeah, the longest song is the end song at 10 minutes. Yeah, maybe it is kind of long. Everything is about fucking, everything's like 7 minutes, 5:30, 4. The earliest song is 4 minutes and 31. That's the beginning, but it never drags. It really doesn't. All right. Can you fuck to this record? Can you make love to the young, to the wild, the innocent, and the E Street Shuffle by Bruce Springsteen? Can you make love to this record?
Bruce writes fucking music.
Okay. I think you can. I don't know if this would be the, I mean, this is, I'd rather fuck to this one than The Rising. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think we fucked The Rising. We fight to The Rising, possibly.
Yes.
I don't think we fucked The Rising.
No. Can you fuck to Nebraska?
Yeah, you can. I mean, yeah, it's nice and tender and sweet and close, and you can even talk.
But if you listen closely, it's like, and then I murdered 3 people out on the highway. And you're like, okay, well, we're getting dark, honey. We're getting dark. Hold on. Let's keep it light. Put on Rosalita.
And my wife tells me that she loves the fact you can make love to Tunnel of Love, which
dude,
with her.
Dude, let me tell you something, dude. I still think so. From doing this podcast, I found some songs that I've just obsessed over. For the Good Times by Al Green. It's a Chris Christopherson song. It might be one of my favorite songs of all time. Lookout Joe by Neil Young, about soldiers from Vietnam coming back to the city and finding all the drug addicts and prostitutes and how the world's changed and they basically been forgotten. It's an incredible song. But the one that, I mean, I love it so much is Tougher Than the Rest by Bruce Springsteen off it. Oh my God. It's like,
my wife is in that video.
Shut up.
Are you kidding? My wife is in that. Yep.
Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
She's in that video.
Some guys, they want a handsome Dan or some good looking Joe. Wait, is that you? Wait, where are you? Oh my God. Wait, where are you, sweetheart? Where are you? Oh my God, there's so many beautiful women up front. Were you one of the beautiful women up front?
Should I show him?
Please, dude, come on, get in the camera. Come on, get in here.
Come here.
I'll send you the video.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm in there. It's just a moment of me being grabbed from behind and smiling. A very affectionate moment with not Eric.
Was it at the beginning? Are you at the beginning?
It's after he's sweating and he jumps down with his guitar, pouring sweat. Talk about giving it all, and just right after that, it cuts right to us. Just kind of this loving moment. I'll send it to Emily. I'll mark the spot, and she'll send it to you.
And dude, we'll put it on the thing, and we'll and then make sure you send the music and everything too, please. Like really.
Emily's got it. Emily's worked with Keaton for years. She loves it.
Okay, good. Thank God.
So
This is,
we
dude,
will
that's
for
so
sure.
awesome. What did,
Okay,
dude, what did it do? But no, but sweetheart, what an incredible music video to be in. I mean this. It's like it was one of
Right?
those songs that you just like listen. We can listen to all this stuff, but it's like to know the story of like he's going through his divorce and he's doing this album on his own. And it's just there's something about Tougher Than the Rest. It's just it really just got me. And when we did it with Jay Moore, man, he cried throughout the whole episode. But when we talked about this song, it was just like waterworks.
Yeah, Jay's a crier.
Well, Bruce and Patty's visiting each other during Tougher Than the Rest. That gaze is like it's like the scene in with Beatty and Keaton and Reds. I mean, that gaze, that moment. And by the way, Eric was also in Miss Atomic Bomb. He did the prequel to Mr. Brightside. So now you got to check that one out.
Ah, dude. That rules, man. That rules. You guys have been some pretty hit music videos, man. I'm not lying. Like you've been dude, you've had incredible lives. All right, to wrap this up, and thank you both for coming on. I can't thank you enough. I had such a blast. What would be, Eric, your elevator pitch to get someone to listen to this record? Like, how do you sum this album up? And just like to somebody that's never heard Bruce Springsteen's second record, The Wild Innocent and the E Street Band.
You want to feel young? You want to feel decent? This is the album.
Perfect. I can't agree. I say this. If you found any of the other, if you want a record that you can just put on and enjoy and really not have to fight through, it just is incredible. Especially for someone that is, arguably one of the greatest singer-songwriters of your generation, of my generation, since music has started being recorded. If you want to figure out what it's like to be a hungry young actor, a hungry young artist, that's right there. He's right there. I mean, I don't even know if he knew he was about to make Born to Run after this and how his life was going to change. But it's because when I talked about Prince and I said 1999, he did right before Purple Rain. He was already pretty popular at that time. People knew who he was. There's this, from my understanding, it's like he was doing shit, but this is the last record where he is just Bruce Springsteen from New Jersey. He's not the boss yet. From this point on, he is everything. He is the world's. He's not just New Jersey's anymore. He is the world's. And yeah, man, that's really cool. That's what I love about doing this pod, man. It really, I don't know if I ever would have listened to this if I didn't get to have it on the list. And it's also so cool to sit down and talk to you about it. Eric, please promote away the book. Is the book out now, or when does it come out? Or what? I mean, we'll do this all out. Okay.
It just came out, the book, and it's called Runaway Train. And it's the story of my life so far. I'm very proud of it.
Dude, I love it. Thank you. Come back, please. I can't thank you enough, man. This was so much fun.